Alright. The name is Dale, doing the review of Apollo Brown and JOELL Ortiz's new album, Mona Lisa. This review is done on behalf of Audio Liquor Magazine. Alright, before I get into this actual review of this collaboration between producer and rapper, I'm gonna give a little short history on JOELL Ortiz. I first became aware of him in like 2007, I believe. That's when he dropped his first album called The Brick, Bodega Chronicles. I was highly impressed. I really dig that joint. If you haven't heard, I suggest you seek it out and listen to it. And he's had like 4 solo projects in between his first joint and his new album that I'm about to review. And those 4 projects been very disappointing. He even did a whole album with Ill Mind, who's a producer, in the same vein as this joint that he got with Apollo Brown, and that was even mediocre. It was just okay. It had some joints on it that I like, but overall, it didn't quite hit the mark. And I would say the disappointment came from the production. The beats didn't match his skill set on many of those solo projects. It have a few joints here and there, but overall the production wasn't hitting. And he was signed to Dr. Dre's Aftermath label after his first album dropped, and he never released the album off Aftermath, which is not an indictment on JOELL Ortiz, because there have been many of artists who've been signed to Dr. Dre's Aftermath label that never actually put out music or ever dropped the album. I would say more didn't than actually put out music. So he was on there for a short period of time. I don't know if he got dropped or decided to leave the label because they were taking too long, whatever the case may be. And then, through the years, he joined this super group called Slaughterhouse, which consists of him, Joe Budden, Crooked I, who's now King Crooked, and Royce da 5'9". And they did 2 albums and was about to come out with a 3rd one. But Joe Budden had problems with Eminem and how he ran the label, because they were signed to Eminem's label, Shady. And they've been having a back and forth beef about what went wrong with that situation in the last couple of months. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about Apollo Brown, his production style. He's basically digging for old records, chopping up loops, kind of that 90s sound, the essence of hip hop production at its finest. I don't think he's a great producer, but I have a lot of respect for him because I'm all into that digging for obscure sounds and sampling and chopping up loops, things of that nature. He doesn't, every now and then he'll make a beat that'll jump out at you and give you that ugly face. But for the most part, it's just solid. It's just consistent. It's just a steady flow. He's not a great producer, but he's not bad either. He's gonna give you kind of know what you're getting when you hear his production for the most part. But I still have a lot of respect for him. He's not in the upper echelon of producers for me, but I still have a lot of respect for him. And he's been putting in work for the last 5, 6, maybe 8 years. He's done albums with OC. He's done whole albums for Ghostface, Rash Cash, Sky Zoo, Planet Asia. He did an EP with Locksmith. So he's been putting in work. So I'm going to get into the review of Mona Lisa. I'm going to talk about some of the standout songs. It's 11 tracks total. 1 intro is basically talking, so it's like 10 actual songs. It were 3 songs that I thought they were just okay that I'm not going to go into detail about. I tend to skip them. or listen to them halfway and kind of move on. The title of those songs is Grace of God, That Place, and Come Back Home. Those are 3 songs that I thought it was just okay, but I could see me skipping. Maybe with more listens to this album, maybe they'll grow on me, but for now, they're just average to me. But I'm going to get into some of the highlights. The intro called Brushstrokes. It's just the intro. Like I said, it's short. It's a guy talking about how very few people making music nowadays take it as an art, go into it with the thought process of making actual art that will last from decades to come in the future, that will be revered in the future, should I say, as a whole project, as a masterpiece. Hence the Mona Lisa title. The first actual track song, Reflection, called Reflection. The title is self-explanatory. Love the lyrics. It's a mellow beat, classical music sound, nice violins. He has a line or a couple of lines where he says being simple is a yes, and being skilled is a not. Having substance is lame. Using substance is now hot, which kind of pretty much sums up rap music nowadays. He has another track called My Block. I dig the sample singing used on the beat. Joel is speaking about his hood. The block is hot, corner shit, gunshots, or the alarm clock, that type of thing. He has another track called Cocaine, Fingerprints, ugly face music, a dark, haunting sound, braggadocious battle raps. His first verse is very funny. I dig the hook. Good song. Another track that stands out is called Word, the art of storytelling. He's talking about folks breaking his trust, talking behind his back, telling his business is like about betrayal. No hook really. Very little drums. Mostly music, slow tempo. Basically just letting the music ride in between both verses. I dig it. It's a backstabbing type of song. Talking about people he looked out for that turned their back, so to speak, on him. And you got another track called Decisions. Head nod music. The violins are nasty. It's either rap or sell drugs type rhymes, like I'm not making the money or getting the recognition I should get rapping, so I can make more selling drugs type of thing. And you got another track called Timberland Up, featuring Royce the 5'9". Up tempo boom bap music, both go in. I believe that's Nas sampled on the hook. Hardcore battle shit. Then you have the last song that I really liked. It was a standout called Mona Lisa. It was a nice way to end the project. Lyricism. Lyrics still matter. They will always matter. And this is an example of good lyrical. This is a good lyrical display on this song. I really dig the track. So I will give this joint a B. It's a strong B. I think it's one of those albums that I will appreciate more as I listen to it. I've only listened to it 3 times, so I think the more I listen to it, the more I will like it and probably upgrade it just a little bit more. But for now, it's a B. I still highly recommend it. There you go, I'm done.